Jumbo fellow adventurers. Oh my gosh, am I so honored to have, I think, 28,000 people watching this. Most of you will be watching the recording. Many of you are watching live right now. Oh my God, you're blowing up the chat. I'm totally watching it go by. I can't believe you're from everywhere in the world. Scotland's in the house, Georgia, Finland, Russia. Oh my gosh, Ukraine. We're rooting for love and peace and harmony for all of you over there. Come on in, welcome. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you want to get out of this. Give me some ideas on what to talk about. Don't worry, I have a few points I want to make already. I hope you're doing great. I'm just going to give another maybe 30 seconds and then I will launch into big howdy doody. How am I looking, Ivy? Thanks for being behind the scenes and always watching my back. Thank you, Hope Koppelman, Carly, Gina, the team, the dream team that makes me look as good as I could possibly look. Thank you so much to all of you. Holy mackerel, Washington State, Philadelphia, South Africa. I see a lot of South Africa, one of my favorite places on earth. Bavaria. Gedanken werden Dinge. Thoughts become things, right? New Jersey. Wow. Love the emails. Oh, thanks, Alicia, if I read your name. Vancouver, Mexico. Sus pensamientos se convierten en cosas. Right? Thoughts become things. I'm learning them in my languages. India in the house. More South Africa. Oh, I got to stop looking because he's going to blow up my mind here. Okay, we've got 1,200 people live, more joining, and like 28,000 who are going to be watching the recordings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jumbo fellow adventurers, are you ready to hear the 7 steps for manifesting anything during challenging times? This is going to be what I call a mini manifesting workshop. I am here to inspire you by grounding you in truth, by reminding you of who you really are, that you are here to succeed with default settings to thrive, that your positive thoughts are at least 10,000 times more powerful than your negative thoughts. I'm Mike Dooley. I hope you know that by now. You might know my expression, Thoughts Become Things, from The Secret, the DVD, and the book. I've been writing, speaking, teaching on the nature reality for 22 years right now, well before The Secret came out. And it is my absolute bliss. And as I teach it, I feel it, I live it. I've traveled the world. I've come from behind, and that may be where some of you are coming from right now. These are crazy times. I see in the comments some of you have long-term COVID. Some of you are dealing with cancer diagnoses. Some of you are unemployed. Some of you are alone, but all of you are loved. All of you are powerful. And the best news, not only are we able to discern the truth and find our power when pressed with challenges, but right now, the vibrations, the energies, the consciousness on planet Earth is expanding exponentially like it has never existed in recorded history. I have felt this and I have seen this come through too many profound channels whose work I have the utmost respect for. This is the most extraordinary time, the most exciting time to be alive in recorded history as humanity moves from the darkness, the fear-based living, into the light. And this means our thoughts will be becoming things faster and faster. This will mean what didn't work for you 22 years ago, 12 years ago, 2 months ago, now the playing field is changing. Get that, okay? Reality is dense. The jungles of time and space, denser. It's made up of limitations. We play a game of limitations, forgetting who we really are. And so it's not been easy living with the herd and breaking through to get on top, because living with the herd means we're really deep in the illusions. But being deep in the illusions was an anchor before. Now it's just a little speed bump. Now you can even succeed with pessimism and negativity if you keep in mind the truth of who you really are. I have found in the old days, 40 years ago, even thinking I was going to get fired, even thinking my girlfriend would run away from me, although that happened later, even thinking the worst, because I visualized, because I showed up, because I dreamed, because fear drilled me down to the truth. And that's one of the benefits of right now. I was able to prevail and thrive. I was able to soar. I just read something amazing from Daniel Scranton, this amazing channel of the Arcturians. And he channeled something to the effect of, you ought to look him up. He's got a bunch of great books. Daniel Scranton. The Arcturians came through and said something to the effect of, by having challenges, and this is what we're going through right now. You're not alone. No matter how rosy it looks for other people, we're all looking for our center of gravity as the world becomes more and more unpredictable. By having these challenges, you got to admit, it makes you more spiritual. Right? I know we don't want to admit that. Hey, life is great. We're falling in love. We are loved and adored. Everyone smiles at us. That's not when you get down on your knees and pray, right? I mean, it's like, I got this figured out. I love my life. Hey, I hope you've been there. It's a good feeling. It comes and goes until you have a rock of stability created by truth, which is where we're going today. All right. But at least the blessing right now is the uncertainties and these tumultuous winds that are blowing us around, creating havoc, are getting us to go within and say, what gives? Who am I? How can I change my circumstances? And here you are. So this is the great gift of challenging times. All right. It makes you go within, and it kind of forces you to find some traction to discover what was true all along. You're powerful, and you can change that which you don't like. You're not supposed to put up with that crap. You're supposed to change it, and you can. So as you know, I've got 7 steps to help you manifest anything in challenging times. And I've thought of different ways to share this with you, but I'm basically going to go one at a time, 5 or 10 minutes with each. And if time permits, and it will, I'll answer some of your questions. You got a question as I'm speaking, post it. But I would say hold on to it until we're getting near Q&A, because I may answer it by that time, and we don't want to be overwhelmed with too many questions. I've got teams looking at the chat session, and so they're going to be relaying me through the secret bat channels what your questions are, and I'm going to answer some of them live. So hold on to the question. If it doesn't get answered, jot it down as it comes to mind, and if it doesn't get answered, then by all means, type it into the chat and it will be relayed to me. And I'll get to as many as I can. Also, you should all know that we have a PDF download complimentary with a little handout, input section for an integrative exercise. You don't need this right now, but at the tut.com dashboard and the links sent to you in your email confirming today's appointment will have access to this downloadable worksheet. Heads up, if you were among the first to sign up, the worksheet changed. Don't you hate when teachers do that? The worksheet is obsolete. So unless you have a new worksheet, you need to go get a new one. But you don't need it now. You don't need it now. Click back. You'll get an email tomorrow with a link to this. Then you're good to go. So you don't need it. I want you to know it's there. Okay? And again, if you signed up early on, your worksheet is wrong. I made it better since then. Also, I want you to notice, just to answer your question before you ask, Mike Dooley's 127th Mini Manifesting Workshop. Where have you been? 127 workshops. Oh my gosh, let me explain. Every week for my Infinite Possibility members, I do a mini manifesting workshop. And so far, I've done 126, including one this morning. Every one is brand new, new angle, always about living deliberately, creating consciously, thoughts become things. So this is open to them, this mini manifesting workshop, one of the perks, and it's open to the world so you guys can see what goes on behind the curtains here. So that's why it says the 127th installment. Of course, this is being recorded. It'll remain on your dashboard forever. I think we're ready to go. Okay, I've got a little monitor in front of me, so I'm not going to be looking at the handout directly. I'll be reading from the mirror version of it digitally. First step for manifesting anything during challenging times is know your desired end result, aka what is your desired outcome. Do not be thinking now about strategy, because that's going to bring in these changing, fickle winds of the universe. That's going to be bringing in Uncle Tom, Barry, and Mary. That's going to be bringing in logistics. You're not here for the logistics. Divine intelligence handles the logistics. Your job is to point that thing, focus upon your desired outcome. And then we'll use a little bit of logic and a few more points when we formulate baby steps to take. But for right now, no matter how seriously the winds of change are howling, no matter what your doctor said to you, no matter how low your bank account is, or no matter what it is you want to take from great to greater, focus only, define only your desired outcome. So many people don't have outcomes. They don't have desires. They might have a big dream and I want this and I want that, but it's so big they don't think about it. And every day is like, how do I get through the day? How do I put out fires? I want you, particularly now when you're distracted by chaos in the changing world, to get clear on 1 or 200. You can have many dreams at the same time, but let's not dilute your energies. Maybe your top 3 or 4, and I don't mean this instant, but in the days and hours ahead, get clear on some desired end results, desired outcomes. Forget how. Don't worry about the hows. I'm going to tell you about the cursed hows in just a minute in a subsequent point. Just get clear on the outcome. Why? The miraculous mechanics of manifestation are nearly identical. If you know my work, you've heard me say this before, to the logistics of GPS navigation. Okay, GPS navigation, it's like freaky crazy. It's like the universe is having one huge laugh on us. Let me finally let them in on the truth about reality creation by helping a few folks design digital GPS satellite navigation. And then maybe they'll clue in as to how they create their dreams and or those other thoughts that manifest. So GPS navigation, you never tell the system, now it's in your smartphone, where you are. It knows. Divine intelligence, you don't say, God, I'm here today. It's like, gotcha, big one, big guy. You tell it what? You tell it the end result. You don't tell it how you're going to get there. That's why you have it, because you don't know. And you don't know how your big dreams are going to come true. You don't know how your little ones are going to come true. As soon as you say, this is how, you slam shut the door on all other possibilities. Very scary. You give the system your end result. And in that second, like when you speak or pray or create those thoughts for divine intelligence of a new end result, happier, more joyful, surrounded by friends and laughter, creatively fulfilled, healed, recovered, whatever. When you create that picture, divine intelligence is like, I know how to get there. Just like GPS is like, I know how to take you to Disney World. I know how to take you to the Champs-Élysées. I know how to take you to the Petronas Towers. So you tell it the end and it knows how in a second. But the system remains silent and will not speak to you until you give evidence that you're serious. And in your car or walking down the street, you give evidence by being congruent. You show up, you move, you put your car in gear, and then guidance is forthcoming, right? End result, car in gear, guidance, infallible guidance is forthcoming. It's the same in life, which is kind of daunting because people don't know how their dream's going to come true, and they dream. They think they're mere mortal. They don't know that they're supernatural. And so they're paralyzed in fear on the sidelines in these changing circumstances, coronavirus, social distancing, to get a vaccine, don't get a vaccine, unemployment, food shortages. Oh my God, I'm going to let the universe figure it out. The universe has already figured it out because you've programmed a few desired end results, right? But it can't reach you unless you put your car in gear. That means putting your car in gear even though you don't know how to get there. That's weird, but this invokes the magic. Hoist your sails, and then the universe will fill them with its unfailing winds. Everything begins with the end result. And here, now I'm going to share with you one of the slipperiest slopes, especially critical during challenging times. The more specific you are, the more detail-oriented you are with your desired outcome. Instead of wealth and abundance, you want $1 million by April 15th. $1 million by April 15th. Instead of wealth, if you say wealth and abundance, the universe is like, I know how to get there in every which way, including financially. If you say $1 million, I mean, what if your currency is rupees or bahts or reals or shekels, right? The universe has to go through more steps the more detailed you are, and that's okay. But you are limiting it. So here is how to avoid the slipperiest of slopes. Let me give you another example. Instead of a travel partner with benefits, you say Romeo from Milan, Italy. A travel partner with benefits, the universe is going to pick from 7 billion players, okay? Oh, and the universe knows some people. When you say Romeo from Milan, you've just eliminated 7.5 billion contenders, and you don't even realize Bruno is kind of challenged. You know, he's not working with all of the cylinders firing, okay? He's just way too into making his hair perfect. All right, and you're settling on Bruno. Here's the workaround. If it's Bruno that would be your perfect match, Bruno's on the table. But the perfect workaround, say, I want Bruno from Milan, Italy, or better. In step one, when you name your end result, even more critically important during challenging times when there is limitation out there as far as your physical senses can tell. If you simply add or better, Bruno from Milan or better, how many would like or better? Better than Bruno from Milan? That's going to be pretty good, okay? Okay, change that vacant lot on the beachfront property that's about to come for sale, or better. When you say or better, I mean, the universe is like, okay, you've given me an example. I love the details, but you can't see all that I can see. If you give me that example and then you say or better, there's always better than your little mind can imagine. Always, no matter what the economy, no matter what the degree of COVID, no matter what the prevailing winds are, there's always better than your best idea. And so who wouldn't leave that on the table? I'll tell you who wouldn't. 99% of the people who are big dreamers don't leave that on the table, which is why there's a lot of heartbreak out there. They don't know any better. You know better. Don't limit the universe. You're going to leave your options intact, but recognize there are trends, there are priorities, there are changing moods and fickle people that you cannot see, but the universe can. So as soon as you get really detailed oriented with specific people, timelines, places, hows, you limit divine intelligence. And it may be Bruno's available. We're not taking Bruno or that lot or that career or your bestseller. We're not that healing experience, that breakthrough into the light. We're not taking anything off the table. I'm encouraging you to do your best in wonder and imagination with defining an end result that will just blow your mind. And then add or better. This is so important. All right, so step two. Now this is the most woo-woo of what I'm going to be sharing with you. But oh my gosh, in times of challenge, it's maybe your double plus secret. Okay. Visualize the details of your completed manifestation surrounded in gold light. Bring on your supernatural. I have read about the power and importance of gold light my entire metaphysical indoctrination, which began in my teenage years, visualizing myself playing better competitive tennis. And then in college, it helped me get my degree in accounting. And then in the real world, it saved me from getting fired at Price Waterhouse, which was imminent. And then it helped me launch a career as an entrepreneur. I haven't received a paycheck from anybody in 33 years. And my paychecks just never stopped getting better. I mean, there were times, okay, there were times, but I'm telling you, this supernatural woo-woo thing works. Surround the vision. And now I said the outcome, that's the same thing, but I want to make sure that you take your dream and you see it as done. I don't want you to see your dream coming true as the end result. I want your dream to have come true when you picture it in your mind's eye. Your dream came true. Don't visualize your dream coming true. That's too close. Now you're dealing with a how. You got that letter from your publisher 6 months ago, and now where are you? You found that perfect travel partner 3 weeks ago. Now where are you? Don't be visualizing that you found them. Don't be visualizing, too close. There's a lot of leeway here. When it comes to hitting home runs with life's magic, there's a lot of leeway. Okay. But what I'm trying to share with you are idealized practices developed from experience. You don't even have to visualize in gold. You're gonna kill it when you do all else that I'm talking about. But if you do all else I'm talking about and visualize with gold, I just hope it doesn't change you, because your life is gonna blast off. Okay, so visualize with gold. What am I talking about? In your mind's eye, when you see that your life is rocking and you're flying first class on a lay flat sleeper seat to Milan or Rome or London, Paris, Hong Kong, Tokyo. I want you to just see that vision, receiving the big check from your publisher, making a deposit slip, see that vision and just shower it like a gold mist, a gold fog, gold dust. Just everything's gold. You even look at yourself in the mirror and it's like James Bond gold figure got you. This is the most woo-woo I'm going to share, but I got some stories for you. First off, in the classic book that every metaphysician should own, Illusions by Richard Bach. If you don't have that, you got to get that. That should be my 8th point for manifesting anything. Illusions by Richard Bach. In there, the hero is teaching the reluctant Messiah, and this is so good, how to manifest anything. And the hero, Don Shimoda, says, see it in gold light, which is actually most often done, the gold light thing, for healing, for physical healing, bodily healing. And so use it for that. But when it comes to manifesting, it works as well. It's like the turbocharger. Imagine it. And so then also I read it in the Seth material, dictated by Jane Roberts, to imagine gold as part of your manifestation. And don't ask me why it works. It's just energy. But I've got some tips. And it's well known that in ancient Egypt, time of the pharaohs, they have uncovered in King Tut's tomb physical beds, like medical and hospital beds covered in gold. Now, I won't say gold plated, it's 24 karat gold stretched over or molded over beds for healing. Gold, mental or physical, is a healing energy. And listen to these stories. I recently was dealing with a sick houseplant, and I was talking to it. I was planting some trees as well in a local area. And I was imagining them, being showered with gold. And I'll tell you, in all the 40 years I've been doing the gold, it's always seemed a little bit, I don't know. How is my thinking of gold go over there and get picked up by the plant? What if the plant has better things to think about or do or feel? I don't know about it, but I always do it. Oh my God. And then I've been reading some other stuff, a lot of stuff lately about enlightenment and self-realization. And of course, as I wrote in a note from the universe a decade ago, there's just you and more you. And this is all playing out in the heart of God. And I just read this by Dolores Cannon in Convoluted Universe. Yeah, Convoluted Universe book series. Now, if you need me to say these things 2 or 3 times, just go back and watch the recording, okay? Because I got a lot to cover. Your awareness is your reality. Your awareness is your reality. It's not that you perceive the universe through your awareness. You do not perceive the universe through your awareness. Your reality is your awareness. You are what you think. Your awareness is your reality. There's not reality and then you show up with awareness. Your awareness is reality. You look over here, now there's reality. Your awareness is like a flashlight, and wherever you shine it in the dark, that's reality. Wherever it's not shining, there's nothing. There's void. There's only where your focus is. There's only you and more you, and there's just you. And then it hit me. This when I look at a sick house plant, or I've planted some cypress seedlings in a nearby pond, and I'm wanting them to do well, and I'm seeing them, where the hell are those house plants? Where is those cypress seedlings? They're in here. There is only in here. We don't perceive with our eyes, we project with our eyes. Seth said that. Our eyes are projectors, not receivers. Do you get it? Your awareness is your reality. So if I have a sick houseplant, that houseplant is sick here first, and then I project it out there. Now, it's got its own properties and intelligence, and it's not just me being sick. Maybe it really needs water, but the water's in here too. I got to mix it together. And the cypress seedlings, they're in here. It's all in here. So if they are in here, and in my mind, I'm creating gold and I'm associating it with them, I can't miss. I cannot miss, and neither can you. And it's the same thing whether or not you've manifested it physically in your life, or it's the dream of a desired outcome and result. It's all here. And when it manifests, it's going to be here. You can get that without getting that, right? And so if you're giving it gold with the intention of healing, attraction, love, energy, the intention alone, they could have just said, see it in lead pewter, and probably just as good, but gold's prettier, right? So gold, when you shower something in gold, like that which you want to manifest during challenging times, oh my gosh, this is like such a super sport. And so now I've got gold going everywhere, because everywhere is here. Send gold to loved ones. Send gold to your stubbed toe. Send gold to the cancer, and send gold and blessings everywhere with gratitude. I've got a couple stories here. Let me get this. In 2015, I was speaking at a Hay House Writers Conference. I believe it was Chicago. I spoke at a number of them with Reed Tracy, the co-founder and current day president CEO of Hay House, my publisher, best, greatest publisher on earth, as far as I'm concerned. Well, I also love Simon & Schuster too, because they do my other stuff. But word went around on like day 2 or 3 that a participant of the event in Chicago, walking from hotel room to the event center, got hit by a car. And so I'm coming in, I'm just woken up, I'm ready for the day, thinking, what am I going to talk about? And Reed tells me this and says, Mike, you're going up first. Please address the situation. I'm like, what will I say? I'm not, Mr. guided meditation guy. Okay. So I trusted the universe. I was ready to go, and I got on stage, and I told I don't know what I told them, but I just said to everybody what had happened, and let's just close our eyes and just for a few minutes send all the love that's in our heart and massive, massive gold light to this person wherever they are in their hospital bed right now, and let them know they're not alone. Let them know that we totally support them. Let them know they are one of us, that when one goes down, we all go down, the 3 musketeers, all for one, and see them surrounded with angels and just feeling hope and inspiration, and that this is going to make sense one day, and that there's always a reason for everything, and it lifts us up. I did this for like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. 6 months later, I got an email from Reed and his team. This person who was hit by a car wrote them. Dear Reed Tracy and Mike Dooley, I don't know why I'm telling you all this detail. It's actually not like me, but I have something to share with you both. Now, this person went alone. This person didn't know about our little jam session for 3 to 5 minutes while she was in a hospital bed. Okay, to my knowledge, she didn't know. And she's like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's not like me, but I have something to share. The morning of my accident, and this is taken from a longer letter where she talks about she was the one in the accident. The morning of my accident, something pretty amazing happened. I was taken from the scene by ambulance to a nearby hospital. As I lay in the hospital ER bay that morning, I was suddenly surrounded by light, completely immersed in light. This might be a line with the Hay House experiences, but I'm a public health scientist, and I have no idea. I had no idea what was going on, except that the light was undeniable. It's real. All of this woo-woo and metaphysical stuff and you being everywhere, it's real. So take your gold light and sprinkle it on your creative visualization. Take your gold light and sprinkle it over your journaling. Take your gold light and send it out to all the people you love. Take your gold light when you're putting together a scrapbook or a vision board or pasting a picture of your dream car on your bathroom mirror. Take your gold and sprinkle it on your gratitude affirmations. Gratitude is so powerful. Thank you means I have received. Thank the universe for what you have, it multiplies. Thank for the universe for what you don't have, as if you had it. And you're saying, I have it. And the universe is like, okay, it's coming. Sprinkle that with gold too. And here's another favorite thing I want to encourage you to do. I want you to script out. I did this 30 times from the different low ebbs of my life. Script out the story of your amazing comeback, of your amazing success, of the amazing journal from today. I want you to pretend that you're beyond the manifestation by a week, a month, or a decade. Make it spicy, juicy, and you'll have room to add all kinds of other stuff. Here I sit overlooking the ocean. And boy, oh boy, I can look back at the time the world was in upheaval and chaos when I did that thing with Mike Dooley and 28,000 other people. And lo and behold, one step in front of the other, following my 7 points, gold light everywhere. And then I met so-and-so, and then I did such and such introduced me to this, and then it was me and Oprah. And then I went over here and it was so-and-so. And then I went over. Now, script it out, shower the thing in gold, visualize it as you're writing it. Let it be 1 page or 100, whatever feels good, and revisit it. Okay, I want you to script it out, and I want you to put all kinds of glorious, sexy, juicy details in it, whatever sexy means to you. And I want you to feel just the power of that vision, because it is a reality in realms that you have just not visited yet. It exists. But then I want you to know this. From here to there, you can't see the terrain, the trends, the COVIDs, the variants. You have given the universe marching orders for that or better. Okay, so do not attach to the details. Okay, do not attach. Well, I wrote in my journal that it would be Milan, Italy. Look, if in the end it's Istanbul, or if in the end it's Cape Town, or if in the end it's Auckland, who's going to give a flying yahoo about Milan, right? I mean, I love Milan or Rome, but Bruno is going to be even more clingy when you get to Cape Town. And you're going to love that, okay? He's going to be out of his element, and you're going to be wonder partner, and it's going to be all that, okay? So write the script, see the gold, but don't attach to the script. Attach to the outcome, not to the script. There you go. Attach to the outcome or better, but do not attach to the details, the script, the creative visualization. That's all to get you emotionally charged. And then let the details and everything else play itself out. Okay, number 3 of our 7 steps to manifest anything during challenging times. Do not even think about how you will succeed. I told you I'd revisit this, the cursed hows. I call them the cursed hows. They are the original sin. They are the forbidden fruit that was mentioned of in that scripture that was later included in the Bible. I'm not trying to carry a Bible around here, but the original sin is Adam and Eve, these perfect divine sparks of God in a playground where everything is possible, luscious and beautiful, get so mesmerized by the beauty that's before them that smells so good. And I bet it tastes really good and it's going to make my skin glow. Oh my God. And biting into it in this metaphorical story. Absolutely no way is this story. It's just the most perfect metaphor ever, like GPS navigation. And the whole idea of sin and Eve being the temptress. There's a bunch of garbage that men created later on. The story of Adam and Eve and the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge is getting so intellectual about the beauty that you're hypnotized by it and you don't realize that it's all your thought forms, your projection, and you get so carried away you bite the damn apple. And it was good. Oh, it was good. But that signified a tipping point. They call it falling from grace. We didn't fall from grace if we're still in grace. We fell from one lily pad to another lily pad, and it's all fantastic. There's no harm done. There's no mistake made. Sin just means, hey, be aware of what you're doing and think twice if you want to do it again. Nothing wrong with eating an apple, but if you think it's reality and you think reality is happening to you, you're giving away all of your power, and you won't realize that you're projecting the Garden of Eden around you. That's the story of Adam and Eve. And that's what we do. We eat of the forbidden fruit every day. Do you see these metaphors? When we look to the physical world around us for definition of ourselves, of our journey, of its likely manifestation, and we use our physical senses, which are 100% blind to the magic. Oh, this is who I am. This is where I am. This is how it's going. You don't know anything. Not when you're using your physical senses. There's a place for physical senses, okay? Don't touch the stove. And, more profound than that as well. But for the most part, you picture end results. If something you don't like in your life, change the vision. Use a little bit of logic to show up in the world. And then the magic and the miracles start happening and the logistics play out for you. But they can't play out for you if you're like, driving the steering wheel, I know I'm going to find that paradise if I just go south on this highway, because this highway's A1A, right? Yeah, no, it's not. You're going to Albuquerque. But no, I read it in a book somewhere. This is where we give our power away by attaching to pathways, highways, hows, whos, whens, wheres. I call it the Bermuda Triangle. The hows, the whos, and unimportant details like whens and wheres, and you could make a long list. That doesn't mean don't visualize Bruno, but it does mean add better or better. Even if you can't see better, even if your mind starts to fry, there's better. There's always better. And it's not just Bruno. I'm just using one thing. It works with money. It works with healing. It works with being photogenic. It works with everything, because your whole world is a projection of what's inside, and what's inside is a choice of what to think about, no matter what's happening on the outside. And end results force details. End results force hows. As long as you're not attached to one, there's room for others to happen. We'll talk about baby steps in a second and how to take baby steps and not mess with cursed hows. But end results force all of the logistics. The vision forces the details, the way of it arriving, so long as you show up out in the world, right? Otherwise, you're micromanaging, you're limiting the universe, you're stressing yourself out. Don't judge with your physical senses, okay? Number 4 of 7, and then I'll make some differentiations. This is what I wanted to get to. Go now, or start now and never stop. Doing anything is better than doing nothing. As I said a moment ago, the reason people don't put their car in gear is because they don't know how to get there. So it's the weirdest thing in time and space for there to be a manifestation, especially during challenging times. You need to hold the vision and take action, even though, to the best of your ability, you can't see how that dream will come true. There's no linkage. You're never supposed to see. You can't see all. So, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the cluelessness that we often feel, show up, show up, show up. And it doesn't matter what you do. Of course, to the best of your ability, move towards health. Move towards healing. If it's a health issue, by all means, see a conventional doctor. Play both ends to the middle. Listen to the doctor, follow their advice, and show up, take action, meditate, go to a guru, create a visualization, gold dust in your mind. Anything and everything is good. But you must do what you can to move in the general direction of your dream. So who else in the world has succeeded in an area you'd like to succeed in? What doors did they knock on? What pathways did they take that you could take? They surely did things that you can't do. Fine. There's more than one way to get there. Just model your behavior after conventional folk who don't know about the magic. What are your peers doing? Okay. And when I say show up, show up, show up, I'm not saying be spiritual, burn incense, become a vegetarian, do yoga, try meditation. Hey, those are all great things. But when I say show up, show up, show up, do what your peers do. Continuing education, great magical baby step. Cold calls, if you're in sales, great baby step. Networking, leads groups, great baby step. Toastmasters, professional speaking, your baby steps will seemingly be mere mortal, but nothing is mere mortal. You live in the palm of God's hand. Your thoughts become things. And so when you've got big dreams, all you need to do is show up. It doesn't matter what you're doing, even if it's going to that sucky job you hate. That's better than waiting around at home and quitting the job and doing nothing, because now you're not reachable. Don't go to the sucky job and learn to love it. No, it sucks. You're going to get out of there. But until something else comes along, be your best, show up, stay early, stay late, be early. Say yes with a glad heart within your realms of ethics and morality, and make sure you're getting paid. Then you become a lightning rod, and then you free yourself from that sucky job. So if you are where I was at a certain point, at certain low points in my life, I had no idea where to go. There was no yellow brick road in front of me. 21 years ago, as we liquidated the t-shirt business, Mom Andy and I was like, oh God, now what? I remember, and now this is what I teach. If this is where you are and you have no idea how to move towards Romeo or healing or career fulfillment or wealth and abundance, whatever you want, if you have no idea, assess your options, your sucky options, because you just said you have no idea. Okay. And that means you are where I was 21 years ago. Your options presently suck. They're like bad and worse. Okay. But there are pathways. I mean, you could go back to college for 4 years and do another degree. Is that less sucky than some other possibilities? Probably not. Probably there are lesser sucky pathways. So check out all your options and then give yourself a deadline and choose the least 3 sucky pathways. Now you have no excuses. Now anybody can get going. Now anybody can show up. Look, all I'm trying to do is get you out of the house. Okay, I'm not saying learn to love something you hate. It sucks. You're going to hate it. It's a sucky path. It'll always be a sucky path. But one path can lead to another path, particularly for a dreamer, no matter what circumstances or challenges are. It is astounding. It is the dirt path that leads to the diamond mind. And sometimes I have found the most amazing magic happens knowing that I must show up after having the big dreams that I've had, not knowing what door to knock on next. I looked for the closest, easiest, sucky door, and I didn't even want to knock on it. And I knocked on that door, and I knocked. Nothing happened. I knocked every day on that door. And then something happened that changed my life. This door never opened that I knocked on every day. But because I knocked on it, that one did. And I didn't even know there was that one there. And that one is super sexy. And this one totally is terrible, nauseating. Go back to public accounting, become a professional speaker. No, icky. This door, oh my gosh, a business plan rolled out, a person of interest to do a joint venture with. It was the beginning of what became Infinite Possibilities, the art of living your dreams. I was knocking on a door to learn how to become a speaker. It didn't open. This door popped open, blew my mind, but it never would have opened had I not knocked on this door. I was knocking on this door to become a speaker, and the person behind it said, "Why don't we do a joint venture over here?" You never know what good is going to come from your action, but always it lies and it lurks out there in exponential ways. Because you showed up, there were infinite possibilities. Every step you take, the universe takes 10,000. You can't see a damn one of the universe's steps with your physical senses. Don't judge the journey, but you can know inside, every day I get closer, every day it gets easier. It's working, it never fails. This is who I really am. Born to succeed, default settings to thrive. So, let's see here. So, put your GAR in gear, go down the sucky paths. It's crucial that you take action. Okay? What you do is far less important than that you do it. And this is especially true during challenging times. During challenging times, it can feel like things are worse than they've ever been. And the options that once existed, only 4 of them or 2 of them exist now. And the employers that used to hire, they're gone. They're bankrupt. During challenging times is when you need to know it doesn't matter what you do, get out the house, even if it's virtually to a degree. And you're on the internet dating, trying to date, meet people, looking for a job. That's better than not doing anything. It's the dirt path that leads to the diamond mind. And sometimes the door you didn't want to knock on, but did, forces a really cool door to open. And everything is transformed. I've seen this play itself out so many times. And the thing about your fears give us a direction not to run from, but to run to. Your fears point to your misunderstandings. Think about that. Your fears point to areas of life, whether relationships, finances, speaking in front of a public audience, or whatever. Your fears point to your misunderstandings. A note from the universe once said, if not for your challenges, problems, and issues, like the ones you have now, don't feel alone. We're all in the same boat with our own issues. How else would you know there are still a few things you misunderstand? So unless you're being chased by wildebeests, okay, go to where the fear lies, because it's irrational and it's hiding a beautiful truth from you that you need to be set free by. I'm not saying let your whole life, pursue the fear, but if you've got a dream and one of the sucky pathways is join Toastmasters to deal with your fear in public speaking, oh my God, I have been there. And it might turn out one day that speaking is like your favorite thing to do because it makes so much more possible, as well as your own learning as you teach. All right. Number 5, go lightly. Practice the art of choiceless decision making. This is so cool. This whole concept came to mind from my friend Sarah Landon, sarahlandon.com. Really. And I've seen in hindsight, once I heard her talk about it, oh my God, that's happened to me many times in my life. We have the ability to create crossroads where it's always our modus operandi, choiceless decisions. What does that mean? It's kind of obvious by just the words used. But Following a set of rules, these are my rules that I've created, following a set of very subtle, simple, easy rules, you can bring about the opportunity to suddenly see the path you should take, which means the choice actually disappeared and the decision was like, well, that's the only road left. That's cool, because I used to hate making big decisions, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Oh my God, it's like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. There's a way to make them all go away. And oh my God, it is so cool. And when it comes to manifesting in the wild, wild west where we now live, from the dark going into the light with COVID and pandemics and weirdness in the economy and inflation and political rivalry, like the dark ages, this is when you want your decision making to be as easy as possible. I have 3 rules that will help tame those wild beasts that are pulling you in 2 directions or 3 or 4 directions. Number 1, if you don't know what to do, this is from Mom. Thank you, Mom. Don't do anything. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Wait, it's coming. You will know what to do. So don't put the cart before the horse. Let this be your decision. Let this be your clarity. Total confusion, I'm not going to decide. 9 times out of 10, that is an option, maybe even more. And if for the 1 time out of 10 when that's not an option, I got 2 more rules. And these are a little bit similar, but they help you parse the equation in different ways, in different lights. Oh, and let me also say, in my notes, I wanted to say, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. And this way, you're going to avoid being reactionary. Like, oh, lion, tiger, bear, pull the parachute. It's like, wait a minute, those are costumes. They're not real. Those are your best friends. But if you're in a reactionary state, oh my God, the ship's going down. No, it's not. We're surfing. If you jump to conclusions, all of a sudden, you're going to go from what was not much of an issue to a real issue if you're reactionary, thinking, I got to decide whenever there's a lion, tiger, and bear. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything, Mom used to say. Number 2 of the 3-part test, make no decision until you have to. Sometimes you know what to do. Okay, this is not the same as the last one. Sometimes you know what to do, but you don't have to make a decision for 3 more months until X, Y, or Z. You can think of a million scenarios. And I'm not saying every decision should be put off as long as possible, but I kind of saw this play out in traffic. It used to be me probably, driving and changing lanes on a 3 or 4 or 5 lane highway. You're like in a hurry and you're kind of thinking and you just pass somebody and you're like, okay, everything's cool now. Well, I'm going to move over to this lane. Well, it turns out the lane you moved over to, somebody just pulled in front of you. So I got to go back to the lane I was in. Well, I'm going to go over to this lane and thinking I could go straight, but then somebody pulls in front of me there. It's like, if I had just stayed in the same lane, I would have not had those distractions. And it can be much more problematic, of course, if it's your life and you're changing lanes, making bigger decisions in your life. If you don't have to make a decision yet, and I see this play out in traffic, if you're in a comfortable lane, hopefully not the slowest and hopefully not the passing lane. Don't drive in the passing lane, please. That's the passing lane. Drive in the middle lane or in the middle lanes. And you're comfortable, you stay there until you have to go around somebody or you have to change to get off the highway. Don't be driving your life that way. So the first decision, you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Second decision, don't make any decision until you have to. Okay, meaning even if you think, well, I think I'm going to want to be in the right lane. Until you need to be in the right lane, since you're not in the right lane, stay where you are. Don't go be making these anticipatory changes unless they're demonstrations, acts of faith, other metaphysical concepts. Stay where you are. Don't make the decision until you have to, because you might make it now, but didn't have to make it for 3 months. Your bases were covered, but you're just kind of antsy. And then there's some other major force changing the elements of your life, whether it's a new variant of COVID, or somebody showing up in your life who's super saucy, or don't make decisions now if you don't have to. That's all I'm saying. Number 3, break your big decisions down into little pieces to the degree you can. And very often you can. Look at the underlying components. Okay, is it a big career decision? Is it because there's unhappiness here? Is there another way to deal with the unhappiness here rather than just pull the plug and run? Break big decisions down into smaller, more manageable, more clearly identifiable components. This is so easy. And the big decision may then just completely go away. It may become completely irrelevant. And part 2 of this insight of breaking down a big decision into smaller components, ask the question from different angles. Okay? And I'm going to give you an example that I've shared with other groups at different times. When it came time to get married to the coolest woman I'd ever met in my life, who is presently my wife, I remember it was so easy to be with her. Like, why mess it up? Like, why mess it up? She was so devoted to me. She was so devoted to our happiness. She was so like perfect for me in so many ways. But it was like, it was so easy. There was no cat play. There was no making me jealous. There was just like, I was just so like, when things are so easy, why would you change anything? And I had trouble like, should we go there? Marriage is a man-made institution, like Neil Donald Walsh said. And institution is a pretty fitting word, given the state of many marriages, right? And so I'm like, now, of course, she was a foreign national. And if I didn't get married, or we didn't get married, there would be new challenges. But I had trouble with that decision, is the point I want to make. Okay, I was a bachelor for 50 years. So I asked the question from new angles. I asked the question, if we get married, how do you think you'll feel, Mike, in 5 years? And I thought, pretty good. But that's the question I was asking. So you better ask from another angle. So I said, okay, Mike, if you don't get married, if you don't ask her to get married, and then she has to move back to Mexico, and then you have to visit her intermittently again, or maybe you have to move to Mexico, how are you going to feel a couple of years from now? And I was overcome with grief. I was overcome with a sickening, nauseous feeling. I immediately said to myself, it would be the worst decision of my entire life. I had clarity like I couldn't even believe. It was amazing. I didn't run in the house and propose right then. Just by changing the angle of the question. I do this now with different business decisions in every manner, shape, or form. Projects, new books, everything. I do this with being a father, how to act like a father, whether to be a father before our daughter showed up. It is amazing what you can do by changing the perspective to other valid, reasonable, relevant perspectives in your life to make the big question just go poof. Ain't no thing. So needless to say, I came up with a plan, and she took the bait and worked out. Point number 6 of 7, see yourself as a light worker and see this dream as one for humanity. Right? If you're joining us late, the original PDF has been superseded. So that's why it might match up. You don't need your PDF now, but just know that it's on your Tut dashboard under the recorded video. You will receive an email link to that video shortly. So point 6, see yourself as a light worker and see this dream, or better, as one for humanity. You got to realize you are who God most wanted to be. Okay. And in as simple terms, you being a spark of God, are eternal yourself. You are who you most wanted to be. Skin color, parents, the guidance you got, the guidance you didn't get, all of this played to your objectives. And now here you are. your wish to be you has come true. God did not most want to be you, and still most wants to be you given your existence, so that you could put the needs of others before yours. God didn't want to be you so that you would be selfless and sacrifice your desires. God didn't want to be you to not be you. Be you. Honor your needs and honor your dreams and honor your desires, no matter how flighty or flimsy or materialistic they may be. Please honor the wish of the divine to express as who you are. And the most amazing thing will happen. You will serve in ways you could never have served if you were being selfless. You will serve and reach untold numbers in the unseen as well as the seen when you follow your heart. You are giving the divine a window into reality creation that has never existed nor will ever exist again, through which not only is the divine learning, but you're learning for me. You're learning for all of us. We're all in this together. And so while the evolution of desire is one in which once all of your cakes are frosted and your dreams are coming true and you have shined your light as an example on the darkened paths of others, your evolution of desire will naturally be to see more people enjoy life as much as you're enjoying. But the only way to get there is for you to make your dreams come true. I call it living selffully, not selfishly, not selflessly, selffully. Okay. And I also honor the concept of selfishness, because when understood in a spiritual light, the self is a little bit of everybody. To be selfish in old school definition is to succeed at the expense of others. If you're succeeding at the expense of others, whether in your home or out in the world, it's going to come back to you and you're going down. So is that selfish? Is coming up with a game plan for short-term gains that brings you down in the long term, is that selfish or stupid? That's spiritual stupidity. Proper selfishness follows the evolution of desire, because as you evolve, you begin to see that there's you and more you. That's it. There's just you everywhere in ways you can't comprehend with a human mind. There's you and more you. So as you become more expansive in the definition of self, which is inevitable, particularly as you go and you live in the world and you see yourself in everybody, all these new friends, competitors, clients, customers, you start defining you and your desires more in alignment with everybody. I mean, you've got the toys and the bells and the whistles and the frosted cakes, but yet you see other parts of you. You see humanity and your brothers and sisters slipping and falling. They become your first concern because you see yourself in them. I was reading a phenomenal book recently, and it talked about in different words, this evolution of desire and how it begins as like me, because that's all you can see. And then it expands. And when you get all the way to self-realization, Christ or Buddha consciousness, your number one is driven by a joyful sense of responsibility. I'm adding a lot to this concept I got from a book. You wouldn't find this other places. Your joyful sense of responsibility, your number one becomes living for the world. That's a Jesus Christ. That's a Buddha. That's what you most want to do. You don't really care about getting a new car or the ocean view anymore. You have gotten this. So the point they were making in this book is you start here, and as you expand, not only do your dreams include others, but even to have a personal dream for yourself invokes personal responsibility. Do you see how brilliant this whole world is? By having dreams, you become responsible in a beautiful, magnificent way, claiming your power. Most people don't claim their power. They love giving it away and blaming other folks for everything. But if you have a dream and you're going to make it come true, you will discover you need to be responsible. Not in a difficult way, not in I can't bear that way, but it's like, I'm I am going to make this happen. No matter what the challenges in the world are, it's all an inside job, every manifestation. And so having dreams is the sister of having and accepting joyfully responsibility, because now you're in control and now you get to say. And the greater the dreams, the greater the responsibility. The greater the responsibility, the greater the dreams, the greater. And when you get to Christ consciousness level, you live for the planet. You live for the world. You live, it's all because that's you. Gosh, this is such exciting stuff. All right. And all right, number seven. Celebrate often. Please celebrate often. Every win is a big win in manifesting, particularly at this early juncture of time and space. You and me, chose to be alive during spiritually primitive times. We are like caveman, cavewoman. All of us alive at the dawn of our enlightenment. At the dawn. I mean, look, we still think the world is happening to us. We still build bombs and bullets and point them at other people, ourselves. These are primitive times. But you knew what you were doing, and it was from the zenith of your magnificence. And you knew you could be a light, a bringer of the dawn, a light bearer. And you knew you would find your way. And you knew it would be challenging. And you knew you'd get depressed. And you knew it would be scary. And you'd probably even get sick. You knew all that. But you also knew that you would be far bigger than that which you encountered. It's all an inside job. Whatever your dream, whatever your challenge, you are by definition the greater, as you are by definition their creator. You can't create a problem that's bigger than you. You can't create a dream that's bigger than you. But you got to create the problem or the dream to find out how big you are. Do you see the magic here? Again, dreams and responsibility, dreams and challenges, these are sisters. And they're really awesome sisters. They exist to make you more. It's like they're in the kitchen baking for you all the time, right? And as you move towards one, the other shows up and takes you higher. Then you find out how great you are. There is no challenge in front of you that you are not the creator of, and therefore that you are not the greater of. There's no dream in front of you that you are not the creator of, and therefore you are the greater of. Oh my God. Is that not like a home run? Is that not a hole in one? Is that not bowling 300? Have I not hit the nail on the head? Thank you for coming to me information. And here's another one of my favorite notes from the universe. Do you know what's better than what's better than being at the top of the mountain? The mountain is your dream. Do you have big dreams? You got big mountains. Right? You know what's better? You probably heard me share this before if you're new, or it was a note from the universe. Do you know what's a million billion times better than being at the top of the mountain? Getting there after first being lost, wondering if it would ever happen, thinking it probably won't, being demoralized, psyched out, depressed, feeling powerless, lost in confusion. Wouldn't getting to the top of the mountain yourself through that jungle of your own creation be a billion trillion times better than just being born at the top of the mountain? You came from the top of the mountain. That's your origins. And you said, oh, I want to go there. Wow. I'll always be safe. I'll always be loved. And there'll be help and pointers and angels and guides and workshops at tut.com that are going to help me. I'm going there. And so here you are living that choice. And the first time or the 100th time a lion, tiger, or bear shows up, don't be like, oh, what's wrong with me? They're the ones that are saying, this way, darling, this way. I'm just made of paper. I'm going to take you to the top of the mountain. Go towards your fears. They make everything possible. That doesn't mean just live in fear all the time. Go to your joys as well. Hang out with your friends when you can. But just because it's a fear doesn't mean don't go down that path. I did it for public speaking. I did it when I was scared of flying in airplanes. I did it a whole bunch of other times. I didn't use fear or a problem to say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, yeah, it's good for everyone. They don't have to deal with this. Everyone has their thing they're dealing with. You can do it in spite of that. You can do it in spite of the challenges that now swirl around you. So every good thing that happens on your journey, it's a big deal. You chose to be born at a scary, scary time to any mortal mind, which you have one, as we all do, okay? We chose to be mortal in this spiritual adventure. Let's put it like that. And so if you can find some traction, that you're even hearing these woo-woo words and they're making some sense, you've come a long way. You are a bringer of the dawn, and you will be helping others do the kind of things that are now before you. So I want you to realize that it's a big deal to have emerged from the swamps and to ask with wonder who you really are and what's really going on. And when 8 billion people told you, you knew enough to dig deeper and say, no, I don't think it's this, and I don't think it's that. There's got to be more love. There's got to be more beauty. I've got to have more power. And you were right. And so, drawing from a little exercise shared by Tracy Farquhar, she channeled Frank. Frank and I wrote a book called From Deep Space with Love, channeled messages from deep space with love. And a question was posed to Frank that made it into the book, a really good one. And how do you come to terms with an aging, ugly, sagging body that disgusts you? This was somebody's question to Frank, an incredibly enlightened being. And the answer was, every time you go to the mirror, look in your reflection for some little element that you love. Don't we usually do the obvious? The opposite. Don't we usually do the opposite? Oh, now I got this. Oh, now I don't got that. Now this, now that. Just kind of creating. And that's what we do in our lives. Taking this from the mirror and your appearance to the street and manifesting, oh, this didn't work. Oh, that door slammed in my face. Oh, I'm not as far along as I thought I would be. Oh, this. I want you every day to take note of your little wins and know that they're not little wins, particularly now as these rising energies of faster manifestations whirl around the earth. A lot of a lot of icky stuff is happening unexpectedly, personally or globally. It's like, oh, gross. Oh, no. Everything is pulling at your attention. Still, there's beauty. You know that's true. Still, there's love bursting at the seams. Somebody asked, I think Sarah Landon, the council, a channeling session about how to deal with all the ugliness in the world and all the awfulness that's going on. And the response was, there has never been a time where love was in such full play on your planet. There has never been a time where there was so much caring among the population. And it was like, geez, what window are we looking at when we ask the question about all the ugliness in the world? What about all the beauty in the world? What about all the cooperation in the world? What about all the indignation over the ugliness in the world? What about the conversations we're having now about race and other things that we've never had that needed to be had? I mean, there has never been a time of so many beautiful things emerging in spite of the chaos. So what are you looking at? The wrinkle, the bump, the dimple? Or are you looking at the beauty, the love, the cooperation in the world around you? Take this lesson from Frank to your mirror and take it to the street and celebrate all of your successes, because they are innumerable. And just the fact that you're here is more awesome than whatever you make happen here. and that you're here now at this challenging time, yet you're still holding your own. You're watching a broadcasted virtual conference. Look at you. You're killing it. You got the technology. You got the insight. You had the wonder. You asked the questions. Lo and behold, the answers show up. Where are you going to take this? Anywhere you want. Be careful where you point that thing, because you're going to get it. You're going to get whatever you want. This is the power you came with, and it has nothing to do with what's going on in the world. How do you manifest anything during challenging times? The same way you manifest anything in peaceful times. But the challenging times have got us going inwards. The challenging times have us asking big questions. The challenging times are born of winds of change and rising vibrations that are going to make you more powerful than you ever were. And so what didn't work for you 20 years ago with the same effort today will work in spades. What didn't work for you 20 days ago, that's how fast the council and others are saying things are changing, will start working for you. You want abundance, you want friends, you want laughter. Oh my gosh, you can have it. This is your nature. You're of the divine. You're pushed on to greatness every day. I'm going to give you a heads up on your assignment, your interactive activity here. I'm going to do a little affirmation juju qigong with you in just a second, but I want to kind of move towards wrapping this up. We're near the end of the mini manifesting workshop. I do this every single Tuesday. No one gets as lit as me, okay? And I am so honored that we have many thousands of members who receive this. It's the Infinite Possibilities membership. Every Tuesday, shorter than this session, usually around 30 minutes, I jam live on life, dreams, and happiness, your inclination to succeed, metaphysical principles. If you're a member and you're in the chat right now, shout out if it's working for you, if it's good. And if it's not, tell me how it could be better. But the vibe is always high. And I'm inviting every single one of you, 28,000 people, if the number isn't higher, every single one of you to consider membership on me, completely free for 30 days. The link is below. Click it now. Don't forget, or this limited opportunity, it really is. This is a very brief window. We do it like once a year where we open up membership for free for 30 days. Members who are already members, you are the wind beneath my wings. You made today possible. Tell your friends, members who are not members, to come on and join us. If you're not a member, in 7 days, I'm doing this again, but different topics. In 7 days, I'm going to be speaking on March 2022. The theme is Manifesting Anything 2.0. Getting supernatural. That's the month's theme. I'm going to talk about beliefs, which I didn't have time to talk about today. Pattern interruptions, which is using your free will and imagination. I'm going to talk about how to move energy into form. I'm going to talk about unleashing your greater self. I'm going to talk about assembling your angels and spirit guides and hitting the sweet spot for every manifestation. I didn't have time to talk about any of that today, but every Tuesday morning, the month of March, beginning in 7 days, I'm inviting you at no cost, completely free, to become an Infinite Possibility member. And then not only do we meet weekly, but the fourth Tuesday of every month, we do it over Zoom so we can all see each other. The camera's completely optional. You don't have to. All right, let me go back. Let me go back to wrap up this mini manifesting workshop and tell you I've got 3 assignments for you. And doing simple assignments, often with pen to paper, or you can download this and fill it in online on your desktop, takes the exercise and the workshop to another level. So the first assignment, name a big dream of yours. Online number 1, write it out, a big dream of yours, and then add or better, exclamation point, or better. Let that be a new way you operate. Number 2, name some of the key people and groups, family members, workers, neighbors, that your dream come true will benefit. So you don't need to be worried about being too selfish in the old school sense. Your dream coming true will help untold legions. So name some of those groups: brother, sister, mother, kid, grandkid. Who's going to benefit? Community, people who are inspired by you, and then people will be inspired by those you inspired. And then people will be inspired by those that were inspired by the people that you inspired because your dream came true. Ripple effects for eternity when your dream comes true. Your dream is for humanity. Okay, and then number 3 in your assignment. What are the 3 favorite parts of your soon-to-be success story? Remember I said script it out? What do you think 6 months after the big dream comes true? What do you think the 3 favorite parts of your story will be? When I was scared and writing the script in my life again and again, this could happen, that could happen. Oh, I might get a call from Oprah. She never called, but I got better calls in my book. When I would write it out, it would give me hope. And it seemed so unlikely that given where I was 21 years ago, that I would have another chance. I mean, I was 40. I had been with Price Waterhouse for 6 years. I was an entrepreneur selling t-shirts globally for 10 years with Mom and Andy. The 3 of us sold $10 million worth of t-shirts. Chances of me having a 3rd career and it being meaningful, starting at 40, Louise Hay started at 60, okay? Louise Hay started at 60. So but I didn't know that. I didn't know Louise Hay or the story or the book. I remember thinking, it's hard not to be discouraged. I thought I'd have it made by the time I was 40. I had like nothing except a home with a big mortgage. I was like, how did this happen to me? And I told myself in my script, Mike, you're living your biggest dream come true right now. You are living your biggest story right now. And do not think that I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, oh shit, that would be nice. Like, no, you are, because you're going to do this. I would have to give myself pep talks. It's not like, oh yeah, somebody who makes it, they knew they were going to make it. Well, in some way I must have, but I was filled with self-doubt. I was filled with like, why? How did my life go wrong? I thought I should get psychological help, right? I mean, I'm 40 and I'm starting over again. It was like bad. So this is maybe one of your favorite 3 parts, the comeback story. That's the favorite part of my story. I came back when there seemed to be no hope. I came back when others in my shoes never did come back. Maybe that's the assignment, part 3 of the 3-part assignment. What are the favorite turns and the twists and the plots of your soon-to-be success story? As if you were already on the other side and you're like, oh, wow, what a story that was. Fellow adventurers, let's do a little energy synchronization. So if you're watching me now, hands up in front of you as I am. Even if you're watching the recording, time is just an illusion. We're all doing this together right now. I want you to feel that you're not alone. I want you to know the truth that I am there with you right now. And with me is the energy of 28,000 plus people. And we all have this desire for a better world. And we all have a role to play in this better world. And that role will be ignited and come to pass when we follow our self-full hearts, when we put our needs and our desires on the front burner, not at the expense of others, but to help others as we help ourselves. Charity begins at home. You are, I am, we all are the eyes and the ears of God Almighty. Come alive in the dream of life, pushed on to greatness every single day. That's our divine nature. There's no 50-50 shot at your dream coming true any more than the 50-50 shot at survival. You're killing it. You blew the roof off of this thing a long time ago. You've nailed it. You've already been wildly successful. You will forevermore be wildly successful. Don't judge the journey based on where you are. Where you are is never who you are. You can't see the magic that's brought you to this point. It took everything that you've been through, including any setbacks, to make possible where you're going. And now you know without a doubt how to get there. It's easy. Your thoughts become things. Your words give you wings. From this point forward, your mantra will be, among others, every day I get closer. Every day it gets easier. Every day I get closer. Every day it gets easier. Every day I see and feel more love. Every day I have and feel more fun. Every day I get closer. Every day it gets easier. This is who you really are. This is why you chose this lifetime. You knew what you were doing from the zenith of your brilliance and your majesty. That's why you chose as you did, to be who you now are and to have the challenges that you now have, because they're the perfect invitations for being greater than you have ever known or experienced yourself to be. That you want something, that you have a dream, it's your destiny. Follow your fears, face them as you take baby steps, and thy will shall be done. This is who you really are, and this is why you've drawn this mini manifesting workshop to be in your experience, to be reminded of the truth that is resonant in every one of your cells right now. The truth you know is here to bring you home. Home in the sense of awakening now to the truth of who you really are and the powers you possess. Home is realizing you never left. Home is realizing you already have all you need to manifest all you want. And it doesn't matter that there's challenging circumstances out there. Those are just the lions and the tigers and the bears, and they're trying to distract you. This is part of the journey to the top of the mountain you wanted to ascend from the bottom. Your wish came true. It wasn't a curse. It's a blessing, the greatest of all. You've been given the gifts of the gods. You can make this happen. You will make it happen. It's already happened. So enjoy the journey, every step of the way. It's right through the middle of paradise. Enjoy your sunrises or your sunsets, your cup of coffee or your nightcaps. Enjoy your TV and your friends and your laughter and your frivolousness and your seriousness, and judge not yourself nor your journey. Know that all is supremely well. You are in the winner's circle right now. You so got this. Fellow adventurer, may all that you wish for be the least you receive, as I so know will be the case, because you can't even imagine all the good, all the love, all the joy that's now being pressed to you. Woohoo! Okay, fellow adventurers, that's a mini manifesting workshop times 2.75. So I'm doing this again in 7 days, and you're invited for free. And I just want you to know that if you ended up liking 4 mini manifesting workshops in a row, and the community of cool peeps, and this Facebook page, and Mike Dooley Radio, and Notes from the Universe on the weekend, if you enjoyed it, and we've taken you down the path, and in 30 days you're like, I want to stay on, the price is one you choose. As little as $15 a month. Or you can say it's worth more to me. I'm going to pay, I think the highest you can pay, I don't know, 30 or 40. I mean, go be extravagant. It's $1 a day. Or, hey, everybody goes through a slow spell. It can be 50 cents a day. And I am going to be jamming with you and a community and a chat. Look at this chat. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Clody. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Sanjana and Denise and Lola. Okay, this is your family. We are peeps. We're together. I love doing this. I do it every Tuesday. I want you to join me. What else can I tell you? Let me make sure I miss nothing. And I'm going to answer your questions. So post a question right now. My Agile team has already been sending me some of the questions you've asked, and I'm going to hang on for you and answer some more. This opportunity for the free membership, 30 days of free, is very limited. It's like you can count the days. So click the link now and fill it in. It's free, okay? You do give a credit card. It's not charged. And if during the next month you're like, this is not me, and you forget, we'll send you an email and say, is it okay to charge your card? So we've got you covered. Okay, so no one's going to charge you for 30 days. And then before we charge you, we'll ask, do you still want this? And you can click nope, and you're gone. You're free. So, fellow adventurers, meeting weekly is something Mom Andy and I did in the t-shirt days. And it's something that I wanted to bring to the Notes from the Universe subscribers. That's why the Infinite Possibilities membership was born. And then we threw in all these other bells and whistles. Let me be your coach every single Tuesday. Okay, now let me answer your questions. Pam B2, thank you for being you. Karina Wong, thank you. Lisa, Barb, Arzu, Antics, Gloria. Oh my gosh, let me read some questions. If you got to go, you got to go. Come back. You have access to the recording. We're going to send you an email link to the recording. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Ivy, for submitting these. I am having problems, Mike, with the right words for manifesting a positive outcome for contesting a family will in probate. Woo! I don't know how to bring this to the universe without being too detailed. Okay, the details are okay as long as you don't attach to them. But what is it you really want? What is it you really want? You want a peaceful resolution, fairness and equity, truth and transparency, and you want your fair share. All right, this is what's going on. Your fair share can be provided in a lot of ways besides just this contested will, right? The universe is your source, and the universe might use the will, or the universe might use any number of ways that you can't even conceive of right now, including work, including bonuses, including lotteries, including your book, including whatever. And it doesn't even have to be a financial payout. I don't know exactly the parameters here, but all good is being pressed to you right now. And what it sounds like, I think you should be asking this question, okay? Don't get me wrong. But don't let the outcome of the court settlement be the indicator of whether or not you did this right. There's a lot of other elements going on, a lot of other fears and thoughts, empowered ones and limited ones on your behalf and the other participants' behalf that's going to dictate where this goes. But if you can hold in your mind a desired end result of truth and transparency, calm and peace, wealth and abundance, maybe it'll come through the will. You have maximized chances that it will come through the will, or maybe it'll come another way. What matters is that it comes. So don't make the will or the court case a cursed how. There's a lot of other hows that you can have these objectives met. And you can't ever manipulate a certain someone into seeing the light of day. There are some people who may remain stubborn in this. There may be some people who refuse to be transparent or see what everyone else can see. Peace and love them. They're in dire pain. Their confusion is turning their life upside down. Just feel sympathy and sorrow for them. You don't need to be proven right. They don't need to see the truth. They don't need to see agreement. You wish for your own peace, joy, transparency, integrity, wealth, and abundance, and you will maximize chances of an awesome settlement for you. But you do not guarantee it. That's why do not attach to the details. Visualize the details. Attach to the end result: peace, love, transparency, integrity, wealth, and abundance. Okay? And this is one way it may come to you. Let there be other doors you knock on. Remember the sucky paths? Hopefully you have more than sucky paths in front of you, but let there be multiple paths in front of everybody. Nobody should go down a path until it doesn't work out and then pick another path and does it work out. In the beginning of my challenging times, I had multiple paths. I was writing, I was a webmaster, I was learning affiliate marketing, I was dabbling with public speaking, I was circulating my accountant's resume. At the time, all of it sucked. But certain things got clearer and were more fun. Certain doors slammed in my face. So for you as well, don't let the rest of your life hinge on a court case. Let's maximize chances you prevail. But while we do other things at the same time. And don't think that you're limited and that this is the best way and there's not other good ways. There's a lot of good ways. You don't have to know what they are. See the outcome. Show up with baby steps that will seem, like on a dirt path that can lead to the diamond mind. Mike, what is the best way to release the remaining trauma from the past in order to be completely open to a loving romantic relationship? Oh, wow, you're dealing with a lot. I would say a note from the universe came to mind. The best way to deal with a troubling past is to focus on the present and the exciting future. Now, that's easier said than done. I would also say that whatever the trauma was, don't think that you're not through it. Trauma is going to be trauma, and it'll be ugly memory for the rest of your life, and it'll always be there. Okay, so we're not going to make that go away. We're not going to put a smiley face on that. But as you live in the moment and prepare for the future, that trauma that maybe tortures you now will be relegated to a smaller and smaller bandwidth in your mind. You'd be like, those were my training wheels. That's where I learned some good lessons. That sucked and it was painful, but it's made me more of the awesomeness that I am today, set me up for greatness. Or that maybe I have no idea why that crap happened, but I made it. I'm on the other side. It'll be relegated to a very tiny little place. And you'll one day realize, I haven't thought about that in 6 months. So you don't have to banish it. You don't have to make it go away. It's always going to be there. You don't have to put a smiley face on it. And probably the work you've already done and the strides you've made going forward are already relegating it to a place. I don't know if you now have a relationship or you want to start. Sounds like you probably want to start. So just go. You're going to be approaching it with a little bit of baggage, just like everyone else. So don't worry, okay? You got nothing to be ashamed of. There was baggage. There was trauma. You're more of a person for it. Just see it. Choose to see it that way. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to love what happened. Not that you suggested that, but Mike, I got a killer internship at NASA. Wow. Which the universe very obviously gave to me. However, I don't feel excited for it. Do I dare say no to the universe, or do I go with my feelings? Oh my gosh. Well, how did you get an internship? If it didn't excite you, why did you apply? Or maybe you needed to go this far to realize it's not all that. Always go with your feelings. But back to my 3 steps for making a big decision, please take those seriously. Look at it from each angle. See if you can parse it down. Maybe don't say yes. Don't say no until you have to say no. Maybe something better will come along, or maybe you'll realize that this is all that. Maybe it came so quick and easy, you've lost a sense of appreciation for it. It's like, oh, that was nothing. I could do that again. I don't know. I really don't know what you should do, but I would follow those guidelines I gave for making big decisions. I would always follow my feelings, but when it comes to following your feelings, I always bring in a dash of logic and intellect. Feelings are far more important. But I think for me, a little bit of grounding and logic and asking the question from different angles, like I shared, like if you say no, how do you think you're going to feel a year from now, 5 or 10 years from now? It's just an internship. It's going to be done in 3 months, maximum a year? How bad could that be? How many people have had an internship at NASA? I'm getting a little bit practical and logical here. But on the other hand, maybe you could go work for someone else or yourself, and it will be 1,000 times better. Only you know. But look if you're talking about an internship at NASA, you're probably relatively young, right? And what's a few months at an iconic organization like that? What's a few months? It's like, you probably have another semester of college to go to too. Are you excited about that? No, but should you finish? Yeah. So it's like, how picky do you want to be? It's really good idea to finish your degree if you're 3 months away, 6 months away, 3 years away. If you're on that track, that you don't have to be excited about it, but you can be excited about all the doors and possibilities it will bring to you because you did it. Same thing with maybe working at NASA. Maybe, I don't know what your answer is. Mike, can we manifest something for ones we love? Oh, that's always touches my heart. Thanks for asking that great question. That question is all about love. You can help. You can massively help manifest joy for other people. Can you do it all alone? No. They have to be in on the game. But your love, that you ask that question, is being received by them. They don't know how or why they're feeling that little lift, but it's you. And that you see them smiling, you hear them laughing, you feel the warm embrace, the happy tears that you're both crying. Oh, that's going to be so received. You will maximize their chances of joy and happiness and great manifestations in their life, but you cannot be assured of it. I've got a daughter. I'm going to go through that one day too. Right now, she's almost 8 years old, and every day is joy. But I can imagine the challenge, and thanks for asking, and it's going to be okay. Everyone's going through what they need to go through. And I can think of my challenging times when I'm sure my parents were scared about me and what is Mike going to do, and how do you take that? And but I went through what I needed to go through, and it made possible this. And your loved one is going through what they need to go through. Not that you can't help shorten the learning curve, and not that you can't have conversations with them and help maybe introduce them to metaphysical thinking or not. They're going to be okay. Mike, I'm great at manifesting short-term things, but I have difficulty in visualizing what my dream life, long-term dream is. Any tips for people in the same position as me? Yeah, that's kind of an interesting place. More and more, that's where I kind of am. Most of my cakes are frosted right now. So what I do is I just radiate and visualize joy. I'm showered in gold. There's some connotations that we did not mean to brush up against right there. And I just see myself just like exuding happiness. I'm hearing congratulations by people I love. I'm feeling pats on the back, warm embraces, high fives, knuckle to knuckle, pow. I'm just like ecstatic. I'm like, oh my gosh, this and this and this. And like, oh my gosh, every day I can't wait to get out of bed. Oh my gosh, my whole life has been transformed. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go back to Cape Town. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go to Stuttgart. Oh my gosh, I like to travel. Oh my, I'm bringing my wife. You don't have to have reasons for the oh my gosh. Just visualize ecstatic joy. That's my point. Should have told you that in the beginning. So the reasons will be forthcoming, better than you could name. But then you got to continue living your life. Go out with a glad heart to work, to serve, to volunteer, to lead, to whatever. You need to continue living, but putting that joy out there. Another cool way of looking at this, I've seen it from several places. Also, Sarah Landon at sarahlandon.com. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you need. You get more of what you are. You get more of what you are. There's just you and more you. But we can interrupt that. This is my, what did I say I wanted to bring to your attention? Pattern interrupt. This is your pattern interrupt. You get more of what you are. So how do you create change if you just get more of you? Free will and the power to think what has not yet been thought. Pattern interrupt. And so by putting out this joy, this ecstasy, you summon more joy, ecstasy, and reasons, physical, tangible, money, love, whatever, that will bring you that ecstasy. Okay, a couple of more, and I think we'll wrap it up. I'm hypophantastic. I cannot visualize things, colors, shapes. I like that fantastic part of the hypo. I'm fantastic too. Mike, have you heard about the spectrum? How can we visualize our desired outcome? I only heard that word the first time about a week or two ago, but I've addressed it in the 20 years I've been on stages because there's a lot of you out there. I think there's 10% of every one of my audience is hypophantastic. And that means you can't see sizes, shapes, textures. When I say visualize an end result, you close your eyes, it's all darkness. Well, 10% of my audience members have said that. So for you, I got better. When you close your eyes, just create within a sense of euphoric joy, like I just went through in the answer to the prior question. Just for a couple of minutes every day, woohoo, I love my life. You don't have to have any images, but create the feeling. Fake it, manufacture it. Woohoo! I advocate pumping your fists, happy dancing, bouncing your chair, dancing around. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Thank you, universe. By getting physical, you ramp up even more joy. You can really make it seem authentic. And the universe is like, oh my God, you want to be that happy? Oh my God, we need more friends. We need wealth and abundance. We need some creative ideas. We're going to help you finish that book. We're going to start that company. We're going to get you going. And your life will physically be transformed. So inner thought creates outer physical transformation. So no problem that you can't visualize things, colors, and shapes. You can visualize joy. And I'll tell you on the down low, when I close my eyes, it goes black too. I don't see nothing. But so I don't think I think either everybody has hypofantastic or nobody does. So I don't know how to describe what I see when I close my eyes, but it's not Technicolor. It's just black. But like I can imagine a BMW logo right now. I don't really see it like I do with my eyes. So you might not even have it to the degree you think. But I can hear my mom's voice right now. I can, without hearing it with my ears. So the people who don't have hypofantastic syndrome, it's not like they have this huge advantage. Even if you can close your eyes and see Technicolor, you'll be more served by closing your eyes and feeling joy from your desired manifestation having already come to pass. So everybody, I hope you got that. Visualizing and feeling joy, like it happened. It happened for me. I'm at the top of the mountain. I love my life. And thank you, universe. That will get you there faster than anything. With gold light, with or better. All right, fellow adventurers, I think I'm going to say ciao. Ciao bella, sayonara, hasta pronto. The invitation is open for all of you. A free 30 days infinite possibility membership. In 7 days from now, I'm doing another 2.0 Manifesting Anything mini manifesting workshop. Tuesday, it'll be recorded. You can watch the recording at your own time. Nothing is more empowering than having a community, a schedule, a ritual, a routine, as harmless as 30 minutes of positivity a week, plus our discussion boards, our communities. There's so much to this. I remember moving through the challenging times of starting the t-shirt company and then starting as a writer and a speaker. And it was Mom and Andy and my sister who would kind of be my sounding board, and we would psych each other up. This is what we do at the membership. Once a month, it's a breakout sessions, and you even get to meet on camera, if you're brave enough, some of the members. So would absolutely love to have you try it out, okay? And if you can't live without us, for a price you choose, as little as 50 cents a day, $7 per mini manifesting workshop, you're in. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, team from behind the scenes. Thank you from around the world. Thank you for this blowing this up. Secret Santa, Teresa, you are welcome. I'm Mike. Andy's my brother. Renee, Kathy, Sig, John, Mindy, Whole Life Boogie. That sounds good. Let's see. All right. Well, we're going to save this chat too, if we can, and we're going to post it under the recording because it looks like there's a lot of wisdom there as well. Thank you, everybody. Tally ho, click the link below. Join the free membership while you can. Otherwise, you're going to wait 6 months. And have a great rest of your Tuesday or whatever day it is for you right now when you're watching this. Thoughts become things.